Hi everyone, so today I am filming my everyday makeup for 2026. This is the makeup for the last first 2 months here of the new year that I've been doing on the daily basis, pulling this for work as well. When I'm up early in the morning, I need to get out the door. These are products that are in my quick routine, and this is mostly the type of makeup look that you will see me wearing on a daily basis unless it's a special event and I amp things up. But this is pretty much a really achievable, glowy, fresh skin look. So I can't wait to show you guys this. Hopefully you find some products here that you love. And I will have the description of everything I'm using, up close photo on my Instagram as well. And if you like this type of content or the makeup that you've seen on this channel, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. That will help my channel, and it also lets me engage in what you like to see as well watching these videos. So if you want to see how to achieve this look, let's just keep on watching. Next, I'm taking the Becca by Smashbox Fair Light Under Eye Corrector. I personally like the Bobbi Brown one the best. Right now I think it's out of stock on the Sephora website, but both of them have a nice creamy consistency. I'm going to take a Makeup Forever brush and just blend that out, connecting the inner and outer corners. So I can already see such a difference. It's not huge, but it's enough that it is taking out color here that's purple and blue. Now right now for my everyday concealer, I've been using the Huda Beauty Faux Filter. I like the coverage on this one. I also think it's very blendable. So I've just been doing that as the daily one that I'm reaching for. Only thing is the cap leaks, so it gets really messy. I only keep it upright on my vanity. I never put it in a makeup bag just because it will go everywhere. So hopefully they will fix that soon and get a better cap and dome situation on it. And then with a Tarte double-ended brush, I just go in and connect it, blending it downwards and then up into the temple. And then opposite side, the less dense side, I take it in and I go over it and fluff it out. So for spot concealing, I'm almost finished this. This was the All Hours Concealer by YSL. So I'm really just trying to get the last of it. And I just use that on anywhere where I have a bit of redness on the face. I find the longevity of this one is really good. And it's just enough to cover up little spots and stuff that aren't disappearing. Always do a little bit of highlighting with it and lifting, underpainting I guess you could call it. Just on certain areas where it gets a little bit dull or red. Then I will go in with a brush. This one is a NARS brush. And I just tap over it, blend it in as best as I can. Your foundation is going to do a lot more of the work over top. This is just getting a little bit more of the redness covered. This one popped up on me the other day. I don't know if it was stress induced or what, but I did put one of those Peace Out acne patches on it last night. Took it off this morning. It's still a little bit red, not as bad as it was, but you just make do. It's it knew I was going to be filming today or something. It's I'm going to give you a spot that's fresh and brand new. Never fails when I'm about to film a tutorial. Okay, and for foundation, I use the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. This is almost empty. You can see it's kind of starting to drip down to the bottom. I'm gonna see what I can get out of it. I haven't tried the new formula of the Giorgio Armani, so this is the old formula or the original one. And to blend this, I'm using the 56.5 from Sephora collection. This is just a travel size. I have the full size in my makeup kit, but this one I just like for my everyday. It's really easy to even take on the go. Now the shade that I'm using for Giorgio right now is 3.5. It more matches my self tanner for my neck. If I was going to use it on my face, I would definitely have to bump down. If I wasn't self tanning, I would probably be closer to like a 2. But because I try to match things up and get them as close in color, it's going to be slightly darker. I will also be very honest that I did not self-tan my face before doing this tutorial. It's kind of like on a whim that I thought to do this tutorial. So I didn't use my Saint Tropez facial spray. I didn't use any type of like self-tanner to contour the face. I'm just going on very barefaced. But this is where the power of makeup is going to come in. Sorry, I just got a text. This is where I'm going to have the power of makeup come in, and it's going to start to blend and even everything out. And it will look like I have a fresh glow without actually having a fresh glow. So this is an extra step that I do. Instead of using a beauty blender, I have a Makeup Forever wavy foundation brush. It's quite densely bristled. And I will just tap it in. It gets rid of any brush marks, pushes it more into the skin so it's more skin-like. So as you can see, like I still have like imperfections that are peeking through. For every day, I don't mind that. I want it to look like skin. I just want it to be a little bit more evened out. Especially at my work, I have like fluorescent lighting at Sephora all day on my skin, so it shows everything. And if I have really heavy makeup on for the day, like you can see that heavy makeup in that fluorescent lighting, and I just find that I'm just too overdone. Like I have too much on my face, my skin kind of can't breathe. So I do keep it a little bit more of like the natural look, in the sense of I'm not piling on like heavy full coverage every single shift. Now give or take, there's events, there's weekends, there's things at work that I will go full coverage and really have my face done. But on the everyday, I'm getting up in the morning quite early. I just want to get the makeup on my face and out the door. This is a lot easier to manage. Next up, I'm gonna take some of Pound Cake from Huda Beauty. This is a really good mattifying setting powder. And I did do a brush for a long time. I just recently got back into doing like a little poof. So I'm gonna take a little bit onto it, and I'm just gonna press it underneath the eyes. I've found using the poof and a little bit of product instead of a brush under the eye for me lately has been a lot more beneficial for creasing and fine lines that I have under there. I've been using the First Aid Beauty like retinol eye cream. I think I've been using it now every night for about 2 weeks. To be honest, I haven't seen a huge difference in the appearance of the fine lines and wrinkles under my eye. So I don't know if it just needs more time or it's just maybe not the right product for me. I don't have a crazy amount, but it's definitely for me where my expressions and like laugh lines are around my eye area. So that is an area that I do focus on trying to get the most product and just making sure that it's set down. I have a like really watery eye right now on this side. I don't know what's going on. Ooh. Okay, and then you tap a little bit onto the chin, areas of expression. And I do the jaw as well because I just don't want, I want this to look very smooth. For bronzer, I've been using the Benefit Hoola bronzer right now. We're in February, we're still in our winter months. This is an all year really good bronzer. In the summer, I tend to go a little bit darker or use different products. But for every day right now, this has been really good just to kind of bronze up my cheeks a little bit, the forehead, under the jaw, just to give a little bit more dimension back to the face. And I find it's very blendable and the color's not too crazy where I need to spend a long time blending it. There, I just find it adds just enough of like a little bit more of a shaping and a contouring without going too crazy. Now blush I kind of go back and forth on. I have some Patrick Ta ones, I have Dior creams, I have the Rhode cream, so I'm kind of all over the place with blush. But today I wanted to do the Fresh Peach from Fenty. I've been reaching for this one more and more. It has a little bit more of like a built-in highlighter into it as well. So really pretty. This one I'm just taking on a multitasker brush from Sephora collection. I think this one's a little bit older though. I almost didn't know that was Sephora collection. But that is one of the Sephora Pro brushes that's angled. And we're just gonna apply this right to the apple of the cheek and upwards. See how it just like hits the light and it gives you like that really pretty sheen. This is also handy, like I'm gonna put highlighter on today too, but if there's days that you don't want to put highlighter and you just don't have time, having a blush that has a highlight built in kind of gives you your 2-in-1 step. So you're gonna get that really glowy, glossy cheek. I believe this was a limited edition release. Right now she has like the Wada Brat bright pink ones that just got launched that are like pink highlighter blushes as well. This was I think last summer's release that she did. For highlighter, I'm going back in with the MAC Soft and Gentle. I found this one in my collection when I was doing like a clean out and I almost forgot about it. They're still selling it at Sephora, still quite a popular one. I just feel like I've gone through a phase of trying so many highlighters that I've forgotten a few of them. So lately, from January and February, I've been pulling this for like my everyday highlighter. And it's still really pretty. Like it gives a really nice shine to the skin and it's super lightweight. Does have a little bit of a chunky sparkle in there, which I know some don't really care to have now. There's so many highlighters that are like just like a nice sheen. This one does have like a little bit of like a gold, bigger glitter in it. A little bit above my lip and a little bit in the brow bone just to highlight. So now that I have the base on, I'm just going to use a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, a little shake, and I'm just going to set down, let all the powders and everything melt into the skin when we move over to brows and eyes. Now for eyebrows, I bounce around product with them as well. Right now, just because I have it open and I've been reaching for it daily, I have the Dior Show eyebrow pencil in brown, but I've also dabbled with, what was it, Benefit I've had LYS, I've had Anastasia Beverly Hills, Kosas at one point. So with brows, I'm not really loyal to a certain brand. I like to try them all, see their different shade ranges. But I do really like this Dior one. I find the shade brown is very like universal. I think there's only 3 shades in the Dior collection. So when there's usually like 3 shades, the shades are so universal that everybody can be using them. Where brands like Benefit, I think, have like 7 shades of brow colors to choose from. So for beginners, it might be a little bit easier to find these type of products and just stick to the 3 color choices that they carry instead of trying to bounce around like the 1.5, 2s, 2.75 like Benefit system. Once you know makeup and you know your colorings, it gets very easy to find those, but when you're still new and experimenting, you might be more comfortable with a brand that gives you like 3 or 4 options of a brow undertone and then making it work from there. And I just do a very light fill-in. I actually need to get them waxed very soon. I just kind of fill in the arch, going a little bit higher, and then I'll take the brush after to buff this through. In the front, I do very light strokes just to get a little bit more pigment under there. And then what it looks like about that's when I'll start to go in with the brush. And I'll just kind of melt those products together, buff it through so it's not super heavy. I've never been like one to really love brows and like doing them. I do them pretty quick in the morning. I just get a little bit of color on my face and I'm out the door. I don't spend like 15-20 minutes trying to make them really precise. As long as they look fairly similar, I'm happy. Now to set my brows, I have this mini 24-hour gel from Benefit. This is a very small wand and I'm just gonna lift them up with the brush, and then the flat paddle of the brush, I'm gonna set them down. I just kind of swipe it over after and it locks them in. So every day I usually have an eyeshadow of some sort on my eyes, so I do use an eyeshadow primer without fail. A lot of my days I have like 12-hour days that I need to get through, and I don't want my makeup on my eyelids to start creasing or moving around. I also see that it also helps with the color that brings out in these eyeshadows. So that's one thing I don't skip out on, is doing a primer on the eyes. Especially if you have oily eyelids or you find that your makeup just fades, creases, I'm always recommending people to buy a primer. Just like you prime the face, you need to give some sort of base for your eyeshadow to stick to. And I'm not a fan to do concealer or foundation for that step, because you really have to set it with setting powder after, or it creases up really easy on the eyes. So I like something with a little bit more grip to it. And I just tap it in with my finger. For my everyday eyeshadow palette, I really like this Makeup by Mario one, the Ethereal Eyes. You can almost see I've hit pan on a lot of them. I even travel with this one. I just find that the colors are great for everyday makeup looks, and you've got a little bit of shimmer. So my eye look every day generally consists of a little bit of a crease, a shimmer, a winged eyeliner, and some mascara. That is how quick and easy I keep it in the mornings. So I'm just gonna go in my crease, slightly over it with this taupey shade. We're just gonna get a little bit of color shaping out the eyes, and you just blend it back and forth. And then I take that same taupe color with a Sephora Pro Precision brush and I just glide a little bit underneath the eye. In this palette they have like 4 really glittery shades to choose from. I go back and forth depending, but I think I'm gonna do this shade right here today in the middle. It's again kind of that taupey brown with silver reflect. Just gonna pick some up on a small brush and I'm gonna tap that right onto the lid. I always find a little bit of shimmer for me is like a staple. Not everyone does shimmer for an everyday look, but I just find it's quick, it's easy, and it throws on a little bit of something different to the eye, a little bit more eye-catching. And as long as my shimmers are staying in like taupes, champagnes, golds, like very neutral colors of the shimmer, I feel like that's appropriate for an everyday look. Think Victoria's Secret Angel makeup. They always have like a shimmer on the eye, but a little bit more neutral mattes blended out. And then they have like their mascara, their glowy skin. That's kind of my like everyday makeup. Now for my everyday makeup routine, I know not everybody does it, but I do tend to incorporate a winged eyeliner either in black or brown. I have almond shaped eyes and I just find that the winged eyeliner with a little flick gives the most optimum shape to my eyes. It kind of lifts them up and out a little bit more. So I've just come accustomed to doing a wing liner almost every day. It's the KVD in brown. And we'll just slowly start to build our liner. There, that's like as close to the shape. I think that took me like, I don't know what the timer was that like not even 3 minutes. And it's just enough to kind of make the eye look a little bit more pronounced. I think it looks a little bit more sexier with a cat eye as well. And then you can go back in and like adjust the shape and like connect it where you need to. But that's pretty much the general look that I'll do on the eyes. A little bit of liner underneath, and then we're going to be on mascara. And then under the eye, I'm just going to line it with a taupe eyeliner from Lise Watier. Sometimes I go right across, sometimes I go to like the center of the iris and bring it outwards to connect to the outer corner. Just depends what I'm feeling that day. If I really want to take it in right across, it will make my eye look smaller. So for today, I think I'm just going to keep it on the outer portions to kind of lift it up. Now, something that I've been doing on my everyday, I feel like I've been doing this for years, never really stopped doing it, is doing a little bit of like the tear duct here with a little bit more of like a white or a highlighter. I know that Victoria's Secret Angels made that really popular, and it was really popular at a certain like time period, but I just kept doing it in my routine. I really like how it looks. So from the drugstore, I picked up this Physicians Formula. It is like technically a highlighter for the face, but I use it as multi-purpose. I mostly use it just for the eyes. And it's the Mineral Glow Pearls in Translucent Pearl. And with my Morphe brush, this is an M431 precision brush. We're just gonna take a little bit of it and apply it right in the tear duct, just like so. The only thing that confused me about this product, and I don't know if this is like a consensus with a lot of drugstore products, I thought the whole thing was white and like had this really iridescent shimmer to it, but when you start to like put your brush in it, it actually goes into like a skin color. Like that's not foundation. Like as soon as I touch that on a fresh area, it's gonna go that beigey color. So I think when you swirl it all together with a big brush, it turns into like a skin color. And that white, really iridescent part is like only brushed on the top. So I have to watch that with drugstore makeup, is like sometimes that shimmer and what you're looking at in the lights is really just like a top layer that's frosted over, and then it's something completely different on the inside. So some days I'll go over those beige areas if I don't want it super bright. Other days that I know I want that bright inner corner, I've been taking from like little bubbles trying to get it nice and fresh. But I've just been doing that. It really opens up the eye, adds a little bit more interest to the eye as well. So my everyday mascara that I was using was the Tarte Extra Large Tartelette Tubing Mascara. I've just run out of that. It was getting quite chunky, so I threw it out. I have now the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. The brush on it's very tiny and precise. I've been liking it so far. The only thing is, like, if you do get teary-eyed or anything, it will transfer. It's not a waterproof or a tubing where it stays in place, but I do like how it separates the lashes. Especially lower lashes, this brush is fantastic to get every single lash, and it still gives you quite a bit of volume. I like that you can work with the brush on this. So I'm just going to remove some of my Laneige Mango lip gloss. I used this before doing my makeup just to keep my lips really soft. And then we're going to go into a lip combo. Now my lip combo, again, daily, it can change. I always change up my lips. Sometimes it's lipstick, sometimes it's glosses. It never stays solid, but I would say for the last like 3 weeks, I've been doing this combination for my daily makeup. So I'm gonna be using the Anywhere Caffeine Lip Liner from Makeup Forever. And then the Tulip Kiss by Fenty. This is her Gloss Bomb Sticks. And I really like this combination, so let me show you. And then this is the lip balm. It's kind of like on the peachy nude side. Pairs really nicely with Anywhere Caffeine. And they're really comfortable to wear. They give like a high shine but they're hydrating, so they don't feel dry and like cracked on the lips, especially right now in winter. I don't want anything that's going to dry my lips out even more. Isn't that pretty? This has a really nice shine and it blends nicely to the liner. Yeah, and final step to set this makeup, I've been using the Urban Decay All Nighter. Again, this is the collaboration that they had with Scandinavia. So the new Urban Decay that is out on the shelves now, they've dropped their ties with that brand, unfortunately. It was quite a news in the makeup world. So this one I've been holding on to because I still love that formula. I haven't tried the new one yet. With Urban Decay, not sure if I actually will, to be honest. I will probably go back to Charlotte Tilbury or another brand. But this is the older formula and I just use it to lock it in. Even though I have MAC Fix Plus, I use that more to melt my powders, and then this is like everything setting. Now, you may not choose to do 2 setting sprays in one application. I do it for the longevity. I need this stuff to hold up for me. I don't wear my makeup for like 4 hours and then take it off. I am doing it from like 9, 10 in the morning, if not earlier, all the way to like 9 or 10 at night. So I just need stuff that's not gonna melt off my face and slip around. So that is why I take those extra steps with my setting sprays. And then again, that's just gonna be your day-to-day, where you're going, what you're wearing your makeup for. And I did get asked by a friend one time. She was asking me if Sephora is like mandatory to wear makeup on shift. I would say no, it's not mandatory to wear the makeup, but I would say for me, like, I will never go makeup free going to work. Just because I am working in the studio as well. I'm doing the makeup. I just feel like I need to have my face done. I feel better myself when I'm done. So I think with Sephora, they are like, come as you are, come as you feel the most comfortable, where you're gonna feel the most empowered when you're working. So for me, that is having makeup on. And I've been seeing online that it just seems to be a growing trend where it's like you walk into Sephora and the girls don't have anything on. Now this could be a huge shift in the market as well, that skincare is becoming a huge focus in the world as well. So I feel like some girls will rep the skincare. They're really into the skincare, not so much the makeup side of it. So they choose not to, or their shift, keep in mind, could be starting at 6 in the morning. So when you see them at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they've been there since 6 in the morning. They were up at 5. Sometimes you don't have to. It's not mandatory. But I'm sure that it is encouraged to express yourself with the makeup and be able to, you know, try these products and know how they perform. These products, I know how they sit on the skin. I know how they perform for an all day. That is another reason why I like filming an everyday makeup look, because this is stuff that I reach for on a daily, and I'm not very surprised with how it's gonna wear and perform. So that was just like my little intake on that, is that I will do this makeup every single day, and that's just what makes me feel good. So I think working in that field is like, do what makes you feel good. No one can really tell you what you can and can't do. You're open to all your creative expressions that you want to. And for the final little spritz, I've been trying the Burberry, I think this is the Parfum, the new one that they just launched. It smells so good. It still has like those hints of like strawberry and like marshmallow in there, but I've been just using that as like a daily fragrance, and I've been really enjoying it. So it's really cute. Definitely recommend that one. I think I got it in my mouth. Ew. Doesn't taste like strawberries, that's for sure. Gonna remove my clips. Ever since cutting my bangs at the hair salon, I've had to like constantly figure out how to style them, and like my hair is really fine at the front, so they keep falling flat. Like I constantly would have to use like rollers and curlers and then like air wrap in them every single day. Or not an air wrap, what do I have? The Shark. I have the Shark one to keep them like up and fluffy and whatever. So I just have to pin them back because they get in my eyes when I'm doing my makeup. So we'll take that out. There we go. All right, and that is the finished look for my everyday makeup for 2026. This is something I think I'm gonna carry on all year. They're quick products that I can apply in the morning really fast, and I'm not surprised by how they're performing. They get along with each other just fine. And I think it's just enough makeup that it still looks glowy and light, but it's giving me a little bit more exaggeration on the eyes as well. So I hope that you liked this tutorial. I hope you got some inspiration, or you found some maybe new products that you want to try out for yourself. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.